right. Hello, Leo. Welcome to your weekly astronumerology reading from January 4th through January 10th of 2026. Don't come for me, Leo, because I know how you are. Don't add up the dates and say it doesn't add up to seven. I know you. Let that slide. Okay. All right. So we're going to get into your astronumerology reading, and we're going to start with the numerology energy. We are in a 1 year, which is kind of good for Leo because, in general, Leo likes that one energy, independence, the self, the body. And Leo is really good with making decisions. Normally, this is a good energy for you and your health and getting in shape. If you got out of shape last year because of the chaos, really good energy for you. And normally, the other side of it is you could be too much into yourself, too much into Leoism, and we have to have some balance, right? So you need a good partner in order to balance out some of that independent energy. Okay. Now, specifically, January 4th is actually a 6th day. And that means this energy is all about the family and nurturing, and it calls for you to be a leader on that side and put yourself aside a little bit, just a little bit. That you don't have to go overboard, but you might have to be there for somebody else. And Leos are capable of doing that if they truly love someone, right? So I know you can do it. And then each day, you're going to have another thing come up. So you're going to have an energy associated with your work come up. You're going to have an energy associated with your health in the sexual area come up. You're going to have an energy associated with learning from someone else, being open, expanding your mind to where someone can teach you something new. Leos are really good at absorbing information if they're interested in the information. Okay. So that is the energy of the numbers. The newness is good because last year was about a lot of loss. And so it's difficult to overcome the loss. And this year you have to learn how to move forward in a different way without perhaps a loved one, without perhaps a job, a career, a house, a car, something from 2025. All right. So that's the numerology energy. In addition to that energy, we got energies that kind of go with us all the time that we don't exactly understand. And I'm going to pull some of those energies from these cards. So there's a numerology type energy. So a particular number that's going to follow you this week. And it's the energy of that number that you have to deal with. And for you, that is going to be, and it's upside down. Oh, 32, music. Um, Now, 5 is truly the number of Leo, right, in astronumerology. And this 32 adds up to 5. And 5 brings about the sense of freedom, brings about the sense of change. And I want to be independent. I want to travel. I want to have fun. I want to have some romance, but no strings attached kind of energy. And music is going to help you get through this week. So get your playlists out and create a theme song for yourself, for not just for this week, for the whole year, right? And a playlist of themes, that of songs that, big D energy, as they say, for Leo, because Leo is big D energy, right? So get that playlist together. And when you're going through the energy that I'm going to talk about in the astrology and it gets a little heavy, go back to your playlist. All right. In addition to that energy, we also have lesson cards. And for you, let's pull a card and it's going to be love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. Because Leo, with your ability to lead and your rulership being coming from a patriarchal sense, right? A dominance. Sometimes what you say doesn't come across as loving, although it might be coming from a place of love. So this energy means You're going to have to commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. And I would take it a step further and show the good in all things to others. Okay. Next, although we are in the wolf moon, super moon energy, so that is following us. Everyone is feeling that moon. The moon also has other little energies that follow people. And for you, that's going to be the full moon in Aries. You're the second sign that got this, which is, again, Aries and Leo have some similar tendencies, just saying. Although uh, let's just say because it's the leadership, it's because of the selfishness, the me kind of energy, y'all share a little bit of that. So I know everybody's like really have a hard time with both of those personalities, but Aries is ruled by Mars. Leo is ruled by the sun. Mars can be fiery with blowing up at people, with confrontation, right? Mars is the warrior, right? The sun is the person who sends the troops out to war. Okay. So the sun is the king. So there's a difference between the two. This says a fiery climax approaches means that you might have a war type situation. That could be at work. And when you see the other energy in astrology, it could be in the street, it could be anywhere. It's really going to be up to you as to how the thing turns out. You really could watch your temper, mind how you speak to others, mind how you let what others say get to you, and mind how you handle conflict, right? Because this could be, as I told the other person who got this card, this could be where you're like, screw it, I'm out of here, F the world, and also F this job, that kind of energy. So be careful. And the very last card that I'm going to share with you is the playing card. And I did tell somebody that I may do a regular tarot reading for you guys, but I love the playing cards. Okay, and this is the Eight of Wands. You know what? I already know how your reading is going to go, because someone else got this same kind of energy, same kind of, not all the cards, but this Eight of Wands energy came up for another sign, and I don't have it open right now to see who that was, but either way, it did come up for someone else. But the Eight of Wands is a fire energy. I know, I think it was Sagittarius. And you are a fire sign. Aries is a fire sign. So this is about your actual vision. The eight itself is also associated with Scorpio, which is also ruled by Mars, another fiery type energy. And in essence, sometimes it needs to be calmed down by a little bit of Pisces or Cancer or a little bit of water element. You need that a little bit to like cool you off a little bit, because your tempers can get really high because you have a plan and a vision and you really want to see it come to fruition, and the people around you are not really working with you well enough to make it happen fast enough. Okay. So I'm gonna need you to have just a little bit of patience right here. You have the motivation, you have the desire, but you really have to make a concrete plan. Don't just give directions, don't just do this. Tell people specifically what you need done. If someone can't do it, find someone else or do it yourself, because not everyone sees your vision. Okay. If they don't see your vision, they cannot help execute it. So you have to make it plain, make the vision plain so that they can help you execute it. All right. That's your cards. And now we're going to get into the actual astrology. Everyone has the sun, Venus, Mercury, and Mars going together. The sun rules Leo. Mars rules Aries and Scorpio. And these are aggressive energies. Sun, Mars, all that kind of aggressive energy. Mercury is playful. Mercury's out here getting things done, making life happen, going this way, going that way a little bit. Venus, loving the arts, loving life, loving everything in general. And those are the kids. And they are with the father, which is the king, which is Leo, and the uncle, which is Mars, or the aunt who's a warrior, which is Mars. And they are having to go on a trip together. So in that car, it's not a happy time, right? Conflict can arise, arguments over possessions can arise, arguments over where to go can arise. And this is starting in your third house, which is dealing with what brings you pleasure, as well as your relationships with your siblings, right? So, in essence, you could have some conflict starting out with this whole week, right? And you're not happy as far as the sun is not happy necessarily in this energy because the sun wants the mama to take care of the kids. The sun really had the kids, but don't really want to take care of them, right? The sun wants to go off and play golf, ride sports cars or fancy cars or something, right? What happens when you have a lot of arguments going on inside of a vehicle? People get distracted. In that way, you can have car accidents because somebody's not paying attention. So be careful when traveling. The other energy that everyone is feeling is the Saturn in Pisces energy. For you, that starts out in your sixth house. The sixth house is about health, competition, debt, money matters. And we know Leo does not like to have money problems, but we know Leo can have money problems because sometimes Leo is, I'm out here making money and spending money and I expect money to flow and doesn't really communicate to other people who are also having spend money from the same pot. Saturn in your health, which is the sixth house, could mean that you have to be dedicated to your health. So maybe you need to start a new health routine, a new way of eating, a new diet plan. Something in your health may be a little off, and this might be the time for you to improve it. The other energy that everyone has is Rahu, North Node, is in Aquarius, and it is in, for you, starting out in the fifth house, which is your short term romance plus children's teachings and things of that nature. Another source of money, a second source of money. And this is bringing light to innovation, the need to find something new and work within that newness and make more money, something where you can teach people and maybe in innovation in your children in relationships with them. So if you just so happen to be a teacher, maybe you have to come up with a new way to get your lesson across to people. I would go a step further and say that if you're teaching within your home, maybe you have to come up with a new way to get your message to the people in your home. Okay. So those energies everyone is dealing with. The question is where that energy is on each day and how it's going to impact you on each day. So if we start with the fact that on the 4th, that's the 6th day, which is also the 6th house in health, but it's also nurturing and taking care of family. And that energy is in your third house of communication. Then you might have some siblings who have some health challenges and they might come to you for some help. Or you're the person who need to go to your siblings for help. And then you have to come to like a meeting of the minds of how you can work together. And that's where you have to figure out what's going to happen versus am I just going to be like, I don't have time for this, it's me, or am I going to find balance here? And it might be siblings that you're it's not really close with, right? This is not your close sibling. This is someone that, yeah, y'all are related, but you don't really talk. So you don't really feel like you owe them anything. Okay. Now let's move the energy further. somewhere around 4 or 5 o'clock Eastern time, you're going to see an impact of this energy in your home space, right? Which is the South Node is actually in Leo. And the South Node being in Leo is drawing attention to what is not working well in your home. So if your relationship is suffering, if someone is cheating, if someone is just not happy, if someone is unemployed, that issue is going to come up and be the in the spotlight for you. Jupiter is also influencing that. Let's see. Jupiter is also influencing your relationship. So it is again an expansive nature, meaning you might be able to work past whatever the issue is that comes up, but you're gonna have to talk about it. The moon is moving through every house. And on the 5th, the moon is going to be aspected heavily by Jupiter in K2, which is the South Node. Jupiter being normally a good energy, but K2 not so much. And the moon is put in a tug of war type situation. And this tug of war type situation could mean that you have a romantic relationship that's going on. You like the person. Maybe it's not, maybe it's new, maybe it's not as seasoned. And you have to make a decision about taking a job that moves you away from the person. Or you have to make a decision about going to take care of someone in your family. That means you can't spend as much time with the person. Something to where that relationship is not going to be able to get as much of your attention. And you have to decide what gets your attention. There's also going to be the energy of definitely when it comes to taking care of someone. This is health related, but you have someone who is a rival waiting to get into whatever spot you end up not going in. So if you go with the person in the relationship and you don't go help the other person, someone else is going to go help the person. So someone's waiting in the wings to do what you don't do and then upstage you by doing that. That's the energy. On the 5th, you're also going to have a lot of energy in your long-term career. And you can expect to hear news about the government and chaotic events happening there with military action, police action going on there. I will caution you, just like I caution everyone about traveling. There's accidents happening, lots of energy regarding mainly travel by car, bus, train, and a vehicle. A tiny chance of plane, but for the most part, is travel in a vehicle and accidents. Moving on to the 6th, the moon and K2 are in Leo. So definitely the mother energy, the nurturing energy becoming a major thing, but bringing to light some things as well. Secrets are being revealed, and you're not really going to like these secrets because some of these secrets are about your partner, your long-term partner, or the ideal so a relationship you have with someone that you thought was you kind of close. So that could be your situation on the 6th. As we move further, like with most people, you're going to get to a place where all of the energy is focused on your four konas. And that's your major, like the most, your houses, your major houses is where you spend the most of your time, right? So that's your body, your home, your other partner, and your career. All of the planets, all of the energy is converging on all of these areas of your life at once, which Leo likes to delegate and get people to take care of all of it. You might not have enough people to delegate to. So you might have to pick and choose. You're definitely going to, it's no mic tool. You're going to have to pick and choose what you handle, and you're going to have to handle it well. There is I think you have that same energy. Yeah, you do. You have that same energy. There's a lot of selfish energy that is going on and a lot of violence for sure. And so you're going to have to not be as selfish in order to get everything done. Because whatever it is you don't get done, there's going to have some consequences that's going to travel with you the rest of the month, right? So you're going to have to work with other people in order to get these things done because they're all important. They all have value of some sort. It's a deadline at work or the start of a new job is a partnership that has a situation that they need for you to help with. And it's something within your own body that you need to have done, just your peace of mind. And peace of mind is important because you can't help anyone else without helping yourself. But because you are a fixture and a important piece of the equation for a lot of people, it's going to be a lot pulling at you. You need to take care of yourself so that you can help others, but not be selfish at the same time, meaning, not just be like, oh, I don't like you. If I don't like you today, you might like them tomorrow. And then what? Okay. Then I said I wasn't going to spend as much time on some of the negative, the downside, because most of y'all just can't handle it. And that's a you problem, not a me problem. But the sixth is going to be a trying day for you. You got to get out of bed and deal with the day. And some of that energy is going to continue into the seventh. This could be a day of great loss for you. So it's a lot on that day. And that's the energy that you will be, that loss and that energy is what you'll be dealing with even into the eighth. Could be a loss of home, loss of job, loss of career, loss of a person you love, loss of dog. It's a loss that is going to emotionally drain you. And then on the ninth, Sun, Mercury, Mars, and all that energy makes its way back into your home area. And Jupiter is aspecting it, the moon is aspecting it, Saturn is aspecting it, North Node, South Node are aspecting it. Your home is getting a lot of energy, a lot of secrets, a lot of arguments, a lot of things that it's chaos. So it's not completely an argument because sometimes people won't say things, but there's a tension that you will be able to feel. You will know some things are off in the home space. And in the home space, it could not just be your physical home, it could be the city that you live in, or the state that you live in, or the country that you live in. But the tension is at such a high level, it's going to make it difficult for you to go out in it. And you have to go out in it, but it's definitely going to be palatable, right? Tensions are just going to be really high. And then you're in the week. So here's what the problem is that your health becomes a focus by the time we get to the 10th. And that is because maybe all of this other stress and stuff caused some issues. Um, Head trauma, heart trauma, and some stress. It's a stress related issue. High blood pressure, strokes. It's a lot of that kind of stuff on for the 10th. So if you want to mitigate that, you're going to have to work on de-stressing the previous days. Do what you can. Don't be overcome by everything that's happening. As they say, this too shall pass. Find some joy. Venus traveling with the uncles would like to go see a play, would like to go dancing, would like to do something. The uncles don't want to do that. That makes it kind of hard. If you find a way to put a little bit of joy into this week with some activity, you will have better outcomes. Oh, and no surgeries either. Looks like you might need a surgery. It might not be in your best interest to have it this week, but you might have it. And Leo is in the sexual area. What you been doing? Okay. All right. That's what I have for you. Like, share, leave me a comment. See you on the next one. Um, bye.